So the championship kicks off this weekend. This is going to be Matchday 1 predictions. I'm going to do predictions for the opening games here of the opening weekend. Going to be predicted all 12 games. Don't know whether I'll make this a weekly thing or not throughout the season. See how this video does, really, and I'll see how it goes. But yeah, definitely going to predict the opening game, and there'll definitely be some Matchday predictions and stuff to come. So for this league, so let's start with the Friday night game where we've got Wolves taking on Blackburn. Wolves are home. Wolves relegated. Blackburn last season managed to survive in the Championship. Will that be the question is, I suppose, around them this season? Will they be able to do that again? Will Wolves go straight back up? They've had a very strong transfer window, in particular Kieran Trippier, very strong signing. I think that it's been interesting window for Wolves. I think overall they look very, very strong coming into the Championship this season. I think they do start with the win as well. I'm going to go for 2-0 to Wolves there. I think they'll be a bit too strong, particularly being at home on the opening night. Now there's a 12:30 game on Saturday, and that is Bolton against Preston. So it's fairly local, these two. Both Lancashire teams, yeah, so they're quite local to one another. So it's sort of rivalry, I suppose. So Bolton are, of course, new promoted, come up through the playoffs last season. I think, the survival this season is what I think most people would be, which is what I think most people are maybe sort of expecting of them, or thinking that that's kind of the benchmark, that'll be the aim for the season. Preston, who knows with Preston? I mean, a lot of people worried from this season. You never know what you're gonna get from them, really. They're not that heavily fancy coming into this season, but they are one of the most experienced teams at this level, at staying in this level, at being in this level. So we'll see how it goes. But overall, I think the opening game, I think Bolton. I was thinking maybe it could be Bolton win at home, but I think opening day of the season, I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw in that game there. Middlesbrough against Lincoln. Now, of course, Middlesbrough last season had failed to get promoted automatically, then lost out to Southampton, but were let back in because of the whole Spygate scandal, and then lost the final in the dying seconds. So kept slipping up last season. Hellberg, though, did a very good job in many aspects as manager. And I think coming into this season, I think Middlesbrough will be amongst favourites again. I think the thing with them is, because their playoff record is so bad, I think if they're going to go up, I think simple as this, it has to be the top two. So that'll be the aim. Will it beat Lincoln at home? Lincoln, it's probably not really the window I would have hoped for, in the sense they lost a manager. Again, I think survival for them this season would be success, but I think they could cause teams problems on the day. We see the way they do play, they could cause problems. It is the opening game. Middlesbrough, are they going to be fully up to speed? I do think they started the win at home. I'm going for 1-0 Middlesbrough win there. Portsmouth and QPR, I think it's hard to separate these two, because I think both of these two have got potential to do well, but there's also question marks around both as well. I think QPR so far this window, Lamperty is what a signing that is. That's a huge signing that come out of nowhere, really out of the blue. And if there's more signings from these owners where that one came from, then well, the future could be very bright. But the question is with QPR, I was thinking maybe this could be the year they do a bit better, but over recent years it's just such an inconsistency. Last year they were so inconsistent. There's some really bad performances, but some really good performances, really good runs at times, but then also really bad runs of form. You never really knew which version of them was going to show up. Portsmouth last season were going alright, but they sort of sleepwalked into the relegation battle a bit, but then they eventually pulled clear and got going again. I think this one, it's hard to separate these two teams, I think, as particularly with them playing each other on the opening day. I'll go for a 1-1 draw there. I think it's hard to separate them two. Stoke against Swansea. Both will be hoping for a better season than just mid-table this time around. Both I think will be hoping for the playoff push. But we've just not seen him from them in recent years. They've just not had the consistency. Or Stoke quite often start well and fall off. Swansea quite often leave it too late to go on a good run. We've seen it's the pattern over recent years. I think I might go for home advantage our opening game. I'll go for a 2-1 Stoke win, but it's a close one. That on the day it used to be close. Norwich against West Brom. Norwich at home here. I think Norwich coming into this season, I think are looking very good. I think the way they finished last season was very, very promising, and I think coming into this season, I think they're going to be one of the teams to watch in the Championship this season. I'm also expecting improvement from West Brom as well. I think they will improve. I thought last season they it was going so badly, but they sorted the form out in the end, and they had some good, actually finished on some very good performances, I thought, and survived. In the end, they was able to pull clear. So I do think I'm going to go for Norwich just, but I do think it'll be a good game, and I think it'll be a close one. I'm going to go for a 2-1 Norwich win. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say for that one. Charlton against Derby. Charlton at home. It's a tough one to call this, I think, because Charlton started so well last season. In the end, just about it got over the line in terms of survival this season. Could it be tough again? Potentially. Derby, will they push on further this season? They only missed out on the playoffs right at the end last season. With 8 teams going into it this time around, they've definitely got to be one of the teams that's in contention. And I think I'm going to go for Derby County win just. I'm going to go for 1-0 Derby. It'll be a close game though. It could be a tricky game. We'll do Sheffield United against Birmingham. Sheffield United last season so disappointing, but will they improve this time around? I think the potential's there. The potential's definitely there. Birmingham, I think, have added to the squad last season. Maybe people got a bit carried away with expectation. They missed out on the playoffs in the end, but the form towards the end of the season I thought was looking better, and I thought, mid-table, that was their first season back in the Championship. It's very, very difficult to go back-to-back. I think some people maybe thought that they would do at Ipswich, and maybe a bit of an unfair expectation was put on them just because of the amount of money they spent, and also because of the fact they broke records in League One the previous season with how easy they won the league. But coming into this season, I think they look definitely a strong contender for the playoffs. I personally think there'll be a playoff finish, could well be in the cards for them this season. I think I think the squad's strengthened, to be honest. And last season, the form started to get going towards the end of the season. It's the second season now, and it does take time sometimes to adjust to a newer level of high level of football. So I'm going to go for. I think it's close because I think at Bramall Lane can be a very good atmosphere as well at times. I'm actually going to go for a 2-2 draw. I think it could be quite an exciting game to open for both teams there. That was a late game Saturday. This one was very cool because Bristol City Millwall. Oh, that's a hard one because Bristol City coming into this season under new management, taking the manager that was at Lincoln from last season. Again, restart for Bristol City. Again, another fresh start for them, which seems to happen a lot. Millwall, will they be as strong this time around? It's going to be tough, but again, potential's definitely there for another very strong season and another. They definitely could be in contention for the playoffs again. I will say that. I think I'm going to go 1-1 there. Opening game 1-1. That's what I'm going to say there. I think that's hard to separate them. So I think Bristol City being at home as well on their day performances, they are capable of very good performances. Watford against Southampton now. Now Watford, a lot of people worry for this season. I can see why. Southampton, I think, coming into this season, all things considered, they might start on -4 points, and there's this whole thing with look as well, but he's staying there now. They're backing him, which is a big decision, and they were so good last season, unbeaten in the league in the second half of the season. So it's just such a shame for them that the off the field stuff, his actions off the field, cost them so dearly. But I think they definitely would have learned from that now. And then you would think that now that would can put this behind them now. I think they've kept a lot of the good players from last season. I think they've also added some of the signings. I think will be pretty good as well, actually. So I think Watford as well. The expectation on them is, a lot of people worry for them, but they've made some additions, but over recent years they've just been so unconvincing. They've also been so ruthless with the managers and unfair at times as well. They just sacked so many managers, and there's just no stability at the club. It's really caught up with them the way they've gone through managers throughout the years. I think Southampton, it's opening game of the season though, weird results can happen. I go 2-1 Southampton though, 2-1 win there for the Saints, I reckon, on the opening day. That's a Sunday game, that's at 1:30. There's a late game on Sunday as well, 4 o'clock. Looking forward to this one, two of the teams that have just come down. Burnley against West Ham at Turf Moor. This is going to be an exciting game. I think both teams looking, will be keen to get started, keen to get themselves back up. And, of course, West Ham, them in the Championship is massive. They've been in the Premier League so many years now. They've survived so many years, but last season it really caught up with them, and they bad form, particularly towards the end of the season. They had opportunities and survived, but with Spurs bad form. But once De Zerbi come in, West Ham, their form seems to go the other way, really, to be honest. But yeah, I think it's going to be. This could be the game. Could well be the game of the weekend. I think they're both very good. But they've changed manager for Burnley. Nicky Hayen, not really too sure too much about him. Would be interesting. It's his sort of chance to make a name for himself coming into this season. I think Burnley, interesting approach from them. West Ham, of course, for them it's still looking so strong for this level. They've got some real serious money coming in for the players they sold as well. Keeping hold of someone like Jared Bowen as well is massive. I think it's a close game. I think it could. I very nearly said a draw, but I've just got a feeling West Ham are going to be very strong in the Championship, so I'm going to go for a 2-1 West Ham win. The final game, though, is a Monday night game, 8 o'clock, and this is a Welsh clash. South versus North of Wales. I'm really looking forward to this one. This is going to be a really, really interesting one. They met in the Cup last year. It was a great game, and they meet again in the opening weekend here in the Championship. Cardiff are playing Wrexham. Now this is going to be a really exciting game. Wrexham last season narrowly missed out on the playoffs. Cardiff going up in second place, getting themselves straight back up. This is going to be interesting. I think this one on the day really could go either way. Could definitely see a draw, could definitely see either team winning. I really think this one was one of the hardest ones to call. I've just got a feeling with them being at home, opening game of the season, carrying a bit of momentum from coming up as well. I think sometimes you see it, sometimes new promoted teams, they do get the good start with a good result on the opening day. I've got a feeling they might do that, Cardiff. I think I'm actually going to go for a 2-1 Cardiff win. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opening day predictions for the Championship. That's just my predictions for this. So yeah, looking forward to having a Championship back. Looking forward to this opening weekend, getting started again.